Dear gastro pilgrims, wish you were here with me in the south of France to share this wonderful Navarin d'agneau, spring lamb stew, cooked to perfection from La Bonne Cuisine de Madame Sainte-Ange, published in 1927. So just about 100 years ago, Madame Sainte-Ange laid out the rigorous instructions for mastery of this classic stew, and the rules certainly haven't changed since. Watch carefully, follow these timeless techniques to the letter, and you'll be able to produce the perfect, legendary Navarin like it was 1927. I've come to the little village of Celles near the town of Saint-Paul-de-Jarrat in the foothills of the Pyrenees, as there's a very special local guest coming for dinner. Absolutely no room for error. Now I'm off the market, but it's worth pointing out that in France, never call a simple stew a stew. Always find a more sophisticated name. The French are grandiloquent when it comes to naming their dishes, and we love them for it. Matelote, salmi, civet, fricassé, daube, blanquette, and this Navarin all belong to this family of fancy names, all designed apparently to avoid the vulgar term ragout, stew. The term Navarin is hard to trace. It may be named after the 19th century Battle of Navarin, or others say after the old French term for a turnip. So clearly turnips are a key element, and so common in French cuisine. So the first objective here in the historic town of Foix, in the Ariège region, is to find some prime quality Pyrenean lamb. Madame recommends using different stewing parts of the lamb to complement each other, breast, shoulder and neck being the ideal combination.
Tout à fait ariégeois, oui. Tout à fait. De Tarascon, il vient celui-ci.
Ah, Tarascon.
Et Tarascon.
Now, with all the quality ingredients, I head back to base, where Madame's meticulous guidelines for the Navarin are reviewed. Madame suggests that the best fat for frying the lamb is that skimmed off the surface of a stock. So with the whole day ahead of me before my guest arrives for dinner, I make up a slowly cooked bouillon, the recipe for which you'll find on Pete's Pan's website, linked in the description. So the first thing that Madame tells us, despite being a simple home-style dish, is that the Navarin does require the same care and attention as a dish of the haute cuisine. It mustn't be left to stand, as the vegetables will suffer. The potatoes will disintegrate and the onions will fall apart, and all these fresh vegetables will lose their special qualities. So you must know when you want to serve it so you can time the cooking accordingly. She goes on to insist that the Navarin is cooked in two distinct stages. The first part, where the meat is coloured in fat, sprinkled with flour and cooked in a bouillon, stock, or just water for an hour. For the second part, the pot is completely emptied and cleaned, the meat returned with the strained cooking juices, and the vegetable garnish added to finish cooking together. We're told that the cooking utensil is of fundamental importance. It must be thick and heavy and large enough so that the pieces of meat are not heaped up as they are sautéed to colour. Season the pieces of lamb as they're browned all over in the fat of your choice. Madame also prescribes a pinch of sugar, which will caramelise, adding colour and flavour to the sauce. Once browned, any surplus fat is strained off, leaving just a tablespoon or so, to which an equal amount of flour, a tablespoon, is added and stirred around for a minute. Once the flour is lightly toasted, we add the water or stock to not quite cover the meat. The tomatoes are roughly chopped and added along with a lightly crushed clove of garlic and a bouquet of thyme and bay. Cover and cook gently for an hour. Oh, gastro-pilgrims, I'm so happy to receive suggestions such as this very Navarin here from Ben Smith. So do let me know in the comments if you have any dishes you'd like to see me cook in the provinces. Subscribe to Pete's Pans and like the video, and this donkey gets a carrot. Voilà, merci beaucoup. In the meantime, the vegetables are prepared. The onions peeled, fiddly business. Turnips cut into wedges. Carrots cut into appropriate sizes. Beans 2 or 3 centimetre lengths. And small potatoes simply peeled. If larger, they're turned into a pleasant shape or cut into wedges like the turnips. Sauté the onions in some fat, removing them when nicely golden. Replace with the turnips. Season and sprinkle with a teaspoon of sugar and sauté them until lightly caramelized. All the vegetables are ready to go. The chunks of meat are cleaned, removing pieces of tomato and any debris and bone splinters. Strain out the broth, preferably into the pan. Skim any fat from the surface. The pan is cleaned out, the meat and strained sauce returned to the heat for the second hour. The French are fussy about heated plates, so perfect. The Navarin is back on the fire, and at this point the timing of the vegetables is crucial. The turnips are slightly pre-cooked and generally take less time than the carrots and potatoes. Press the vegetables down into the sauce as much as possible. So here are the timings for the final hour of cooking. Please do let me know, have you ever eaten a Navarin in France? If so, where? Let me know in the comments. My special guest, Michel, arrives early, but luckily the conversation flows.
Merci de me rejoindre.
Bon,
Comment
Chez-
vous vous appelez?
Michel Lorenzo.
Vous parlez des Français ou des
Oui,
Espagnols?
d'espagnol je parle. Hein.
Ils
oui.
suscitaient parce qu'ils ne voulaient pas être...
Il ne voulait pas être commandé par De Gaulle.
Quand il est rentré, il était déjà libre, non?
Oui, il était libre.
France,
Quand il est
en
rentré, il était
France.
libre. Oui,
Mais il
oui,
fallait...
les camps de
Il a fait
concentration.
2 guerres, il a fait la
Oui,
guerre
la guerre en
d'Espagne
Espagne et la guerre en
Village history, war stories, and even culinary memories from the 1950s.
77.
17. Ouais.
Je pensais que vous aviez mon âge.
Mais elle faisait beaucoup de daubes.
D'aube.
Ouais, elle faisait beaucoup de daubes. Bon, elle faisait des omelettes, bien sûr, aux champignons. Aux champignons, oui, parce qu'on les ramassait
En
en
saison.
saison. Elle faisait elle faisait des poulets rôtis.
C'était un four électrique ou à bois?
Four à bois. Ça a changé.
Ça a changé.
Mais on a évolué, quoi, je dirais.
Bon appétit.
Bon, merci.
Comment vous le trouvez?
Mais impeccable.
Impeccable.
Impeccable, c'est bon.
C'est bon.
Ah oui, c'est impeccable.
C'est
bon.
comme vous faisiez votre mère
Oui, à peu
dans les
près.
temps?
Ouais, oui, c'est pareil. Mais il est bien préparé, il est bien. C'est bon.
Luckily, Michel approves of this 1927 Navarin, a valuable seal of approval indeed. Job done. Click here for another style of lamb stew from the heart of Spain, and do give me a like if inspired to follow Madame Sainte-Ange and give this Navarin a go. Bon appétit et large soif.